Is Lethal Company dying? Lethal Company took the internet by storm back in November through December of 2023, becoming viral with hilarious clips being posted online. Rated highly on Steam with its overwhelmingly positive reviews, and it's no wonder. The game's multiplayer, charming art style, horror, proximity voice chat, and cheap price made it the perfect game to get into crazy and funny situations with your friends. It seemed like everyone was playing this game. I currently have 49.1 hours in this game. However, I haven't played the game in what seems like about a month now, and it seems many others have too. While it's by no means a dead game, being number 14 most played on Steam at the time of this recording, it certainly has seen a massive decline since the peak popularity, with over 200,000 players to now only a fraction of that, with about 60,000 to 90,000 players. So why is interest in Lethal Company dying off? Well, it's pretty standard for every new game to eventually lose some players over time, but Lethal Company's case feels like it happened much quicker than that. Perhaps it's the repetitive nature of the game. While playing with your friends can always lead to new, unique interactions, the game itself doesn't have much more to offer after a while. Lethal Company has 8 different moons, including Experimentation, Assurance, Vow, Offensive, March, Rend, Dine, and Titan. While each of the planet surfaces are unique, they are rather small maps with not much to explore. As well as this, when you get to the monument and you go inside, there are only 2 types of interiors available. The regular industrial interior, and the slightly more interesting mansion interior. They are comprised of randomly generated layouts of hallways, rooms, entrances, and exits. The random generation sure does help each new run feel unique, but it all seems the same after going through the same hallways and rooms. A recent update added the new challenge moons, which are new moons in name only. They reuse the same maps and interiors, which is a little disappointing. But in addition to the maps, Lethal Company has a decent roster of monsters with 19 different creatures to encounter, each with unique AIs and behaviors. Avoiding or fighting these enemies is really fun, but since the initial release, only 2 new enemies have been added, the Nutcracker and the Masked. In the interiors, you're supposed to collect loot to sell for money, and after a few games you just keep finding the same things. But out of all these things, the biggest flaw with Lethal Company in my opinion is the lack of purpose. Sure, Lethal Company is a great party game that you and your friends might come back to occasionally, but there isn't any significant progression. You'll find yourself playing again and again to get higher quotas until ultimately you will no longer be able to reach the quota and you'll have to play a new save. This can get repetitive and boring, especially if you played the game so much like I have during the hype. I feel as if I have done just about everything in this game. There's nothing left to do but try and get a higher quota, and that's just not fun. This isn't the 1980s. There should be some long-term goal, or at least a late game goal, to keep people wanting to get to that higher quota. If somehow some type of progress could actually carry over from previous runs, that could give players a goal to work towards. Maybe cool new moons could be added that only unlock if you reached a high enough quota. What I'm saying is players need to find purpose in a game to actually care to grind for it. In Lethal Company's current state, you aren't grinding for anything. It's an endless cycle. While there's been lots of awesome and funny mods, it isn't enough. I feel Zeekers must release consistent and significant updates to bring attention back to Lethal Company. Some things Zeekers could do to freshen the experience would be the addition of actual progression, new maps, loot, and monsters, possibly even expanding on potential lore of the game. That would be interesting too. And for the love of God, please give us more unique interiors. 2 is seriously not enough. Luckily for us though, on the Steam page of Lethal Company, the developer Zeekers has this to say regarding future updates. There are still many ideas and features that I have in mind. Lethal Company is finished, but far from realizing its potential. I want Lethal Company to be so full of creatures, items, customization, and map variation that it feels infinitely replayable. This is really good to hear, as this would be exactly what could make the game a timeless classic and keep it from fading into obscurity. So why are updates taking a while? Well, the developer Zeekers is a solo developer, maybe getting help from only a few people. So cranking out frequent updates would be difficult for just one dev. In a recent announcement from Zeekers, he states that he was taking a break from development to enjoy the holidays, and that he plans on adding lots of new creatures and map variation in version 50, although he says he likely won't be able to get it out as quickly as he hoped. With the low price tag of $10, Lethal Company has sold millions of copies, and it's estimated that Zeekers has made around $50 to $100 million in revenue. This amount of money is insane for an indie dev to make, and hopefully Zeekers puts it to good use in the future development of Lethal Company. He could even create his own game studio with that money. Imagine how much amazing content could be made possible with a larger team to work on updates. Lethal Company is not dead, far from it. While it's seen a decline with the success it generated, I think we should all remain hopeful for the future of Lethal Company. With that said, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. What do you guys think about the current state of Lethal Company? Are you still playing? Let me know in the comments. Also, I want to give a shout out to my friend's channel, Zan Has Cake. He helped me out with this video, and he has a really awesome video in the works that should come out very soon. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to see more videos like this.